Join me, AG, and here we are on Gran Turismo Sport. Oh, yet again. So I've started this a bit prematurely because I'm waiting for Daily Race B to start, which doesn't start. The qualifying doesn't open for another 3 minutes. I set my stream up a bit too fast. You just have to bear with me. No one ever watches me anyway, so. If nothing else, I do these streams. You might wonder why I do them if you've seen them before and wonder why I'm streaming to absolutely nobody. But occasionally people do watch for a start, and I just want to get better at this kind of stuff. So whether there's people watching me or not, I'm going to keep doing it. To the point where I feel like it's completely natural just to talk and drive at the same time is my little aim. And if I can build up a few subscribers and get a few likes along the way, that's good. But yeah, streaming wise, I just want to get better at actually being able to talk and drive and try and add some kind of entertainment factor into it. Tricky bit for me is that, because I'm not very entertaining. As you're probably aware by watching this intro. Another 2 minutes to kill. So it should be quite a good one, this. Jumping to the actual race. Circuit de Spa Francorchamps in Belgium, in the Ardennes Forest, I believe it is. It's 3 laps. Maximum number of cars is 16, and we've got a 15-minute qualifying session, which we are awaiting to pop up and start. Less than a minute to go, and then we can jump on Spa. Hopefully get a decent lap or 2 in qualifying and see where we go from there. Might adjust my camera whilst I'm waiting, so you can see my wheel a little bit more and less of me. I'm not bothered if you can see me or not. I'm not the prettiest guy in the world. I'll do my hair for you. There you go. It's even worse. Never mind. Anyway. Here we go. So it's popped up. Just gone 3:15. Let's have a look. See what people have done. So Munguinho, guy I raced against in one of the leagues, is first on my friends list. So let's see if we can knock him off. In fact, we'll have a look at the top 10 times, see what cars have been used. It's a good mixture, really. From those cars, look to be the fastest, or some of the fastest cars around here. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Looks like the F-Type, and what else? Didn't really pay too much attention. Mustang is number 1. And the McLaren as well has got a decent time around the Viper as well. So good mix of cars. Kind of fancy doing it in the TT because I love the TT. I feel like you can just drive it so aggressively. But I don't know if it's going to be any good for times. Let's give it a go, just because I want to give it a go in the TT. Some people might be aware that the Mature Racing Club Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship starts season 11, I think it is. Starts in the new year, 3rd of January, I think. So there's a bit of testing going on at the moment between all the guys involved in that. And one of the cars I personally will be testing when I jump in these lobbies to give it a go will be the TT. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I just always seem to be able to get decent times with it. Even though it doesn't feel like it's so understeer, it feels like it's quite slow, but you drive it appropriately enough for the understeer, and it does seem to have some kind of speed to it. Anyway, we'll see how we can do in qualifying in it. If it's nowhere near the 2-minute 30 lap time, I think it was, then we'll pick something else. Make sure I've got the TC off yet. So might be a slight bit of confusion for me on this track. I was racing around this track last night on Project Cars 2, so might be a bit of converting back to GT Sport to get used to, seeing as though the brakes are just awesome on the cars on Project Cars 2, and just seemed like you had complete control on the brakes in comparison to Gran Turismo. It's a while since I played it, so it struck me more than anything that did. Anyway, head through Rouge for the first time. Not a bad run out of the source. I've done better, but it wasn't too bad. Tiny little lift just to keep it turned in on the right hand side so we can get the run over the top curb. No penalty, which is good. Just trying to get a banker lap in for this first lap, so not trying to brake too late or anything, just try and get a reasonable lap in without going too slow. Probably been a little bit too respectful through that section there. Again, Project Cars 2 last night, that was a right handful to get through there in the Group 3 cars, because I haven't played it for ages. Probably actually driving this track slightly wrong at the moment, with that in mind from last night. Bad line out of there. Terrible start, but there we go. Would you expect any better? Oh. Horrible understeer into there all the way through. Right, I've actually got to shake that out of my mind, because you just drive this track differently on Project Cars, so get back into Gran Turismo style. I might as well restart this lap as well, get rid of that penalty. Tiny little warm up, that's what I'm going to class that as. Not that you need to know this, but I've got this weird kind of clamminess going on. Hands are really like clammy for some reason. It's not even particularly warm or anything. Try and get somewhere near the apex, missed it. Back on the power. A bit slow through the apex of La Source there. Try and make up for it with our foot down through a Rouge and Radion. Don't know why I use the corner names for the first couple of corners, because I don't know the rest of them for the rest of the track, so don't know what any of this bit's called. Turned in a little bit too well there. Collected the cones as I came through, all the bollards. So understeery through there. So I'm honing back into Gran Turismo style. I can feel it's coming back to me. Oh, lift off oversteer as I got off the gas, as I was on the curb too much. Don't know why I just called it gas, I'm not American. Don't know why they call it gas as well. Get on the gas. It's not like we say, oh, you the petrol button, the petrol lever, hit that petrol lever. Oops, it is it. Can we get back on the track? Yep. Obviously that's how you get the ultimate time through there. Carry the curb for as long as possible. Flat through here if we get the line right. I've got a bit of understeer, missed the apex again. Regular theme in this TT with the understeer. Miss every apex going. I kind of forgot what corner I was going into there, so I broke a bit too early. Don't know why, but that kind of reminded me of another track when I was heading into that last corner, and that last chicane. So that's about as slowly as you can go around there. And came out of the last corner in third gear as well, so that was not the best, I'll be honest, that lap. Try and actually get the apex this time, back on the power a bit earlier. So we've got my Ghost to chase now. absolutely flat in this Gr4 TT going through a rouge. No need to lift at all. And we're on the hard tyre. Something I always forget about in these dailies, the fact that you're always on the bloody hard tyre all the time. I was kind of just jump in and have a go, and then halfway through qualifying realise, oh shit, yeah, I'm on the hard tyre, and that's why I've got so much understeer everywhere. So I'm not really making up any time on my Ghost, just doing a very similar lap at the moment, which isn't what I'm after really. Looking to improve, same bit of oversteer on the same bit of curb, brilliant, exactly what I was aiming for. If you make a mistake, I mean, why not do it every lap? But that way at least you're consistent. It's what race drivers always talk about, consistency is key. Even if you do get it wrong, at least you're getting it wrong consistently. Tiny bit of a lift to get through without running that curve too much this time. But obviously running the curbs just saved me a load of, not running over that curb should I say, just saved me a hell of a lot of time. So that lift was obviously the wiser move. Missing that apex every time, turning into there. Don't know why, just too much understeer again, missing the turning point by not turning in early enough and countering the understeer that I know I'm going to get. I come out of there in third again, what am I doing? So a 2 minute 30.0, looks a bit more like it, but it's definitely more time there. Slightly better through the source, but a worse exit, so I'm losing time now as we head down this back straight, or the main start finish straight, you could argue. Tempted to change gear there, as it sounds like I was hitting the limiter in fifth, but it was just topping out because of the front wheels going light. Old Rosie joining us for a second there, and popping in shot. If you're a fan of Henry Weston, you'll know exactly what I'm on about. Good old Rosie, she looks after me. If you're not, you'll just think I'm a bit weird, but I don't mind that. Going so slow into there. I'm a little bit up on my time, but nothing major. This is where I can gain. Right, I've avoided the oversteer on the curb, so I've gained a little bit through there just by doing that one thing. I have sacrificed my consistency though, not making that mistake this lap. I've dropped my consistent style now, making the same mistake every lap. Some people might argue that's a good thing. Don't know what I'm on about here, I'm just waffling on. Half a second up. So if I can carry this to the end of the lap, I should get myself into the 2 minute 29 bracket. If I can really gain on these last couple of corners and actually get it into second gear rather than third for the final exit. Some people might even use first, but oh, I've gone wide. Don't give me a penalty for that, please. I ran it out in fourth as well just to get some traction, but got the lap time, but lost a little bit by very last corner mistake there, and lost the run on to the next lap as well, which is pretty much wasted this one already. I'm looking at the top, I've only got one more flying lap to get in, and this is it really. I won't have time for another one after that, so I better do some late braking somewhere along this lap to make up this time and see if we can beat my Ghost that's already half a second ahead. So 2:29.496 that lap time was. Quite good having the Ghost in front, just some kind of comparison to how I'm doing this lap. See if I'm catching it or not. At the moment it's roughly about the same as where it was at the beginning. Dropped a little bit of time through there on my Ghost. I have no idea if that lap time's going to be any good or not for a decent qualifying position, but we'll see in another 2 minutes 9 seconds. I hate the fact that you've got to have a little tiny lift into there just to get it balanced. It'd be nice if it were just flat out. Come on! Don't know why, but I could do the go-karting bounce. If you've ever done quite a bit of go-karting, you'll see people do it. Coming down out of a slow corner, going into a long straight, they'll be bouncing on the chassis, trying to... I don't know why they do it, to be honest, but trying to get some kind of imaginary speed just from encouraging it by just bouncing your way down the straight. I end up doing it in this when I come out a really slow corner sometimes, even though I'm not obviously in any kind of real car or anything. You come out and you're just urging it on, so you end up like, I don't know, I end up like shaking my head away, like, come on, let's get going, where's the power? But yeah, I think it stems from go-karting. We end up bouncing the chassis. I don't know if you even gain time from doing it. I just saw the faster guys doing it, so I ended up doing it. But one thing that definitely struck me in my time go-karting, I did quite a lot of go-karting back in the day. I used to do endurance races pretty much every week at an indoor track, and I used to do outdoor championships as well. I never used to own my own kart or anything, but I've done quite a lot of go-karting is what I'm trying to say. And oh god, the one thing that strikes me going back to it is how bloody physically difficult it is. Your arms are absolutely killing after about 10 minutes. I can't remember what my original point about go-karting was now. I'm too busy concentrating on this, losing my time to my Ghost. Pinched the lap off me. Anyway, that's worked out at a perfect time to interrupt my terrible storytelling, where I can't even remember the point of why I started telling the story. So, 7th position it is for the start. Seems to be no flags for the nations. They're all blank there, apart from whatever nation that is. Why were I talking about go-karting? Gone proper blank on that. Trying to run through my mind of everything I've learnt about go-karting. I can't think of that must have been it. I learnt absolutely nothing in all that time. I didn't have anything to tell you. It was terrible from the day one. No, it's I was saying about bouncing, wasn't I? Bouncing the go-kart, yeah. Don't know why, but the faster guys always used to do it. There was a guy who actually used to race in Formula Ford as well when we used to do the team endurance every week. A guy there that used to dominate every week, and he had the race suit like the Stig and a helmet like the Stig. And obviously this is talking a fair few years ago when Top Gear was in its height as well, and the Stig was a big thing, so it was always kind of cool that this guy turned up and he looked like a Stig. And then yeah, found out slowly but surely, just kind of got to know a few of the people there, that he was a Formula Ford driver, quite a young lad, and he was good as well. He used to have this weird technique into T1 that was a really tight right hand hairpin after a long straight, and I used to just, I don't know, I used to just flick it in, and in go-karting it's all about momentum. You don't really want to, you don't want oversteer or anything like that really, it just slows you down. But he used to get a bit of oversteer but still manage to carry the speed from it. So easy to bog a horse. What are they? 5.5 horsepower, the little Honda engine go-karts that you get indoor, or you don't get as much these days because of the fuel emissions and all that. Not fuel emissions, you know what I mean, bloody poisoning everyone with the fuel. It tends to be electric or gas these days for indoor karting. Still get good old petrol outdoor though. Smells awesome as well. Good old petrol go-kart. I don't know why I'm reminiscing so much about go-karting. I remember driving a bloody go-kart. It makes sense if I were. Anyway, turns out there's a race going on. I better get involved. What's my look back button? I've changed my buttons and I can't remember what's what now. So can I do anything in this TT? I felt like I could have gone faster in qualifying, but I felt like it was a reasonable lap back, so I'm wondering whether I can actually catch the guys in front. I don't know if the car's actually fast enough to be able to do it, even with a bit of slipstream. The beauty I suppose I've got is I can absolutely flat out rouge every single time without fail, without any concern really, as long as I get the line somewhat like right. Oh god, followed his line a bit deep into there. Gain it back on the exit and carry on as though nothing happened. Jaguar behind me. Jaguar was one of the cars on the top 10 table as well in the world, so got to worry about that slightly, especially if he's following me on the long straights with the slipstream. Keeping a nice gap to him at the moment though. A couple of penalties ahead by the look of it. I didn't even look then to see if that were a message or what were going on, but someone's either just joined or there was a message. Welcome if it was someone just joining. Good afternoon. Hope you're well. Hope you like terrible driving as well, because you've come to the right place. Again, slightly annoyed. I'm going to get that corner flat at some point. Keep having to lift a tiny bit just to avoid going on the exit curve too much. Alright, let's get this turning point right for a change. Nope, missed again. Don't think I've hit that apex yet. Let's make it a mission in the next 2 laps to get it on one of them at least. So if some guy in 6th position has gone deep there, just let me drive through up into 6th with no concerns whatsoever. And the guy in front's got half a second penalty, so I need to keep as close as possible to him. Don't actually know where the penalty thing is, I've not really paid much attention. Old Rose is calling me, I better give her a visit when we're going down the straight. So we've got the, I'm terrible with my flags, God knows what nationality it is, but he's about to take his penalty. in front of us, half a second, which should let me get past. Yep. Nope. Oof-hoo. A little bit scary as I thought I was going to go into the guy in front there. He forces me to go into the back of him there by braking when he didn't need to. That's why I didn't bother braking and backing out of it. So where did we start? 6th, 7th, 7th. I've not really paid much attention to the race. For some reason I've got go-karting running around in the mind. Oh, guy in 3rd's off. Thank you very much. I'll take that. Up into 4th. All you've got to do in a lot of these daily races is just keep on the track for 3 laps and you'll make positions up. You don't even have to drive that well. Just let the guys in front push away and they will make the mistakes and go off. Can't obviously guarantee it, and sometimes obviously you bump into races that don't go that way at all, and all you can seem to do is go backwards. That bloody curb. So that was my attempt at doing it flat out and it didn't work. Annoyingly, as I've said already, I am going to have to lift through that little corner every time. It's a pet hate more than anything else. It's just so close to being able to do flat, I'd like to be able to do it. Anyway, a little experiment as we go around doing that. Failed miserably though that time. Through the bus stop chicane, onto lap 3, the last lap, into La Source for the last time. A little bit deep, missed the apex a bit slow on the exit as well, so I've lost the run on the guy in front a little bit. I was a bit sloppy from me, if I'm honest. I should have made sure I got out of there nicely. Take a nice line there and I'll catch up. He's gone a little bit wide through the middle of Eau Rouge there. Can I get to the right hand side or is he going to block it? No. Gonna have to go to the left. Would have liked the right hand side because then even if I didn't get past him before the end of the straight I still have the inside line. He's actually still there, so I've got to give him a bit of room at the inside. Then I've got the inside for the next one, so as long as I'm nice and clean, then he's got the inside for the next one. Keep it clean and we should be alright. Guys behind her dropped back a little bit. I don't know why I've dropped a little SR there. We did touch each other, but it certainly wasn't contact. Don't think it even moved the cars in a different direction than they were going really. Anyway, a little SR down for it. Can deal with that as long as I don't lose any DAR rating. Just recently got myself, literally the other day, up into A. So I certainly don't want to be losing any DR and dropping back to B, taking bloody ages to get to A. Be nice to get a podium here, it's right in front of me. Certainly not too much to ask, even though I've just taken a terrible line through there. Got to get a good run through this section though now to have any chance of it. So a little lift through here, even though it's very reluctant. Now sitting his slipstream and hope for the best. As we get the toe, is he going to see me coming and go defensive early? Can I get to the inside? No, he's blocking it. Can't really go side by side because he's just going to force me off the track if I do. We've both gone wide. So I've picked up a penalty. I don't know how he hasn't because we both went about as wide as each other. So that sealed the deal. I'm in 4th. I might even, no, I've got a 2-second gap to the guys behind, so I'll just finish with a penalty. Oh, could have had 3rd there at one point. I missed my last lap chance really there by coming out of the first corner not so well and just losing the run down the whole of Eau Rouge. I got a bit of a run on him, but if I'd have got a better run out of La Source there, I could have been past him instead of battling side by side into the 3rd corner, if you want to call it the 3rd, after the long straight. That's where I went wrong there a little bit. Messed up that last lap, La Source corner. And got the slipstream, but I was too far back to make it really work to get past him and hold that third position for the rest of the lap. Good little side-by-side battle though. Anyway, a good race, all in all. Still got my A, it's nice to see. Be nice to see it go up actually. I'll have a quick look, see if it has gone up a little bit. Oh, it has. I can't really tell how much, but there's a little bar there. I can't really point to it either because the camera's not pointing the right way, but you know what I mean. Driver rating here. There's a little bar at the bottom that shows you that it's slowly increasing. So I'm going to go do the same one again. Do I pick a different car? Might just do that. So the McLaren's pretty quick. Do I pick that? A couple of top 10 times are in the McLaren. Let's give it a go. I don't ever use the McLaren, so it'd be quite interesting actually. Where is it? It'll be that far down because that's how often I use it. There it is. No livery, because again, never used it in a league or anything. Never been the biggest fan of it. When I drove it ages and ages and ages ago, granted, I always felt like it had loads and loads of understeer. But a lot of people say that about like the R8 and stuff like that, and then I never really seem to think it's that bad. Anyway, I know I'm boring. Oh, got a message at one point, didn't I? Yeah, Michael. Oh, is it Michelle? Michael. Is it Michelle? No, it is Michelle. Michelle Taylor. Michelle Taylor, good luck area. Thank you very much. Sorry if it is Michael. Right. Here we go then, let's have a little... Should just about be able... Well, definitely get one lap in. Possibly two. Yeah, I should get 2 laps in. Oh, let's have a go in this McLaren. I hope the TC is off. No, it isn't. Let me just stop. Stop about here. Should still be able to get out of this last corner with a bit of pace. TC off. Let's put the brakes to the front a bit, I think. Just by 1. Not that I've ever driven this car, so I don't know why I've just done that, but I'll keep it there anyway. Right, so I should still be able to get 2 laps in, so long as I don't have a massive mistake anyway and lose loads of time. I'm already wondering, is it going to be flat in this car or not? Up into 6th gear already. Let's take it flat first time and learn the hard way. No, it's easy flat. So better that I did it that way rather than slowly, otherwise I would have just wasted this first lap. Got 7 gears this car, but no need to actually use the 7th there, didn't quite get to the top of 6th. Scrappy on the entry, but feels alright, this car, not too bad. Turns in quite well actually. Bit better than the TT, obviously. Being front wheel drive, the TT is terrible on turning. Loads of understeer. Again, just get that from front wheel drive cars. But I don't mind a load of understeer. I prefer understeer to deal with. People have different preferences, but I prefer a bit of understeer to deal with, not that much though, than oversteer. I just find oversteers really quite frustrating lap time wise. You just drop loads of lap time, whereas I can learn to drive quite neatly with understeer just by braking that a bit earlier or whatever it might take to get through the corner neatly. Will we get up into 7th gear here? Don't know if we will. Not the best lap so far, but it's not too bad. Certainly not the quickest I've ever done. Hold that thought, I'll look at that message in a second. Oh bloody hell, that first lap's wasted. Let's make sure we get a decent run onto the second one in that case. So a terrible first lap. We're 2 minute 32 lap time. Definitely looking to improve on that. Can I look at that message where... Oh, I hit the wall now. Oh, it's a long message. It's too long. I can't read it out before I roll rouge. Oh, look what you've done to me. Oh. Right, before this race actually starts, if I've still got time, I think I've got about 2 minutes, so I should be able to jump out and actually change car. I'm going to change to the... Have I got time? I don't know if I've got enough time to do it. I think it might. I might end now. I'll just stick in this car. Otherwise, I might risk losing, missing the race. I'm just going to jump to the F-Type then and see what that was like instead. That lap time's not inspiring me straight away. That 2 minute 32. I know it's a quick car technically because it's in the top 10 times. But if I've not driven it and I can't get the most out of it, then I'm just going to be slow. And with that kind of lap time after getting a decent qualifying time, it means I'm just going to drop back. TC's back on. Did I turn that off before? To be fair, it wasn't very noticeable if it's been on. Not compared to some cars. Right, I can read this message now. Here we go. Can I? Oh, shit. Waiting to see me win one. Right, well, you better have all day. Yeah, might take a while. So, you might have to bear with me on that one. Let's have a look at your PSN. My 275. I don't recognise that if I'm honest, but good to see you join me, and thank you very much. I'll have to look out for you in the future. See if we can race together at some point. Good to see that you're in the MRC though. Good little group. If anyone's watching this that hasn't heard of the MRC as well, it's a Facebook group called Mature Racing Club. Feel free to look them up and join if you're interested in anything racing related or doing anything like this yourself, then get involved. Not daily racing, I mean like league racing and stuff like that. And there's another group as well, to be fair. Oh, so I'm in 5th this time. There's another group as well which I will mention because I do quite a lot of racing with those guys as well, which is SimFX, another group on Facebook that does league racing. It's called SimFX Racing on Facebook, and check those out as well if you've never heard of them and you're interested in all this kind of stuff. You certainly see a lot more of what I'm doing from other people and various different races going on and replays and all sorts of different stuff. Loads of people doing commentary, live commentary over racing and all sorts. A guy called Dark Smoker does a lot of commentary. You might have heard of him. Oh, another little message. You're too fast for me. I don't know about that. There's always someone out there that's faster. No one was born fast. Well, some people might be saying that, but I think it's just practice basically. So you get on. Quite a big learning curve for me was actually joining. I basically raced on my own, just in AI races, and just had a bit of fun with my wheel and didn't really take it too seriously for ages, and didn't bother with league racing until probably about a year ago, maybe. And then got involved in league racing, and then I thought I was quite good when I headed into league racing, and then all of a sudden you realise, oh bloody hell, there's a lot of quick people out there, a lot of people who are a lot quicker than me. So you join the leagues and you get racing with these guys, and slowly but surely you find yourself, you do find yourself beating some of the guys that you looked up to at the beginning, and then you start thinking, bloody hell, I'm getting quicker. Then you just carry on progressing from there, really. You take it a bit more seriously again, do a bit of practice, make sure you know the tracks that are coming up, practice in the same car all the time if you picked one particular car for the season, and you just deal with it like that, and then slowly but surely, like I say, you just find yourself improving. It's well, thank you very much, Darren Baldwin, good to see you, mate. No giant. Hope I have been racing. There you go then. If you've been racing, it's exactly what I'm on about. I was racing around on my own, and I was thinking like, oh, it's good as daily racing and doing project cars and stuff like that, and just joining online lobbies. I was still racing online, but just joining random online lobbies. And to be fair, I had some really, really good races, and I had some shockingly bad ones as well. But when you get involved with league racing, it's just a different thing again. People, you know that everyone in there's got the same thing in mind, basically. There's some more aggressive people than others and all that kind of stuff, but everyone's got the same thing at heart, and everyone's there to have fun and have some good clean racing. So what the hell's going on here for this start? Great angle to start me out. But yeah, it opens your eyes to the fact that there's people out there that are really quick as well, and you can start competing with them, and week on week you can try and actually compete with them. You can try and get up there in qualifying and do it that way. So yeah, it adds I think it adds a whole new element if you've been playing on your own and just doing daily races and stuff like that. If you join the MRC or SimFX, there's other ones out there as well. Feel free to join whichever ones you like or like the sound of, but there's plenty of groups out there to join, and plenty of good league racing going on, and it happens pretty much every night of the week. You can join something, different cars and different endurance races and all sorts go on, and you can join what you want. You don't have to commit too much. They normally last about 10 races, the seasons that go on, roughly. Some of them are 12, some of them are 8, so they're roughly around that kind of length in races. Sometimes there's 2 races a night, sometimes it's just 1 race a week. So yeah, depending on what you want to get involved in, there's all sorts out there. It opens up a whole new world to just racing rounds, trying to do the daily races and stuff like that. I barely do any daily races these days. I just do a bit for a bit of fun to keep my eye in and race against random people instead of just the same people every week in leagues. And it just keeps, I like to think it just keeps you a little bit fresher, just competing against strangers that you don't know, and you don't know how they're going to react and the way that they drive. So you've got to be on your game to do well in these daily races, I always think. League races, obviously you're racing against certain people all the time, so you kind of get to know them and you build up trust, so you can race closely with them and side by side. And I had one league race in the MRC at one point, me and a guy called Subaru Gaz, and I haven't raced with him much since, but we had a race at Bathurst, I think it was. We had 2 races in one night actually, and they were both brilliant, but I think it was a Bathurst one. And it was literally bumper to bumper between us guys for the whole race. I think there was a tiny moment where there was a bit of an incident and a gap developed for about 2 laps, and then closed back up, and then we were on each other's bumpers again. And just absolutely unbelievable driving, to be able to trust the guy that much, so he's not going to dive down your inside on the brakes unless he's actually got the pace to do it or the opportunity to do it. He's not just going to lunge at you for no reason and all that kind of stuff. It's really, really enjoyable. That's what you can never get out of a daily race. You can never truly trust the guys you're racing against, because they're all complete strangers. You just hope that you're somewhere near because of the ranking system, and that they're going to be somewhere, you know, around your level. But yeah, I certainly recommend getting involved. If you want to improve, get involved in league racing. It certainly improves you quite quickly. you want to do well as well. That's another thing. You want every race to go well, so you start practicing, and you know. Anyway, I've mentioned it enough. Stop waffling on. And actually try and get this frigging McLaren that I don't really like around this track. I'm doing alright, but I can't catch this guy in fourth. He's just pulled away from me at the start and can't get anywhere near him now. Definitely either thinking go back in the TT for another race or jump in that F-Type and see what I can do. Don't like this McLaren. Don't know how anyone drives cars like this. Supposed to get used to it, but like any other car, but just not enjoyable. That's the line. Yeah, thank you for that sub as well. I'm trying to get to 100 before Christmas, which obviously might sound laughable to some people because it's not a massive number, but be a nice little achievement for me personally, and I don't mind admitting that, even though, like I say, I'm not talking about mega numbers. I think I've got 80. If you've just subscribed, I think I've got 85 now, so 15 before Christmas. Oh God, where's he just come from? Shit the bed. God, I must have broken early there. What the hell? I wasn't expecting that. Where did these two just come from? They're just doing something massively wrong without realising. He's coming down the inside as well, got to give him a bit of room. Make sure there's no contact. Oh, terrible understeer as well. Can I read that message? Not whilst we're side by side, that's just silly. Oh, who's got the line? I've got it at the moment, he's got it now. He's dropped back though. Whew. Have I got away without a penalty there? I'm not sure. I could have taken a better line through there if I'd have known he'd have dropped out quite as early as he had. I didn't look at the radar till it was quite a way behind me and he'd already done it, so if I'd have realised I could have taken a better line, but there you go. Oh my God, loads of oversteer. Okay, unless you're a McLaren lover, do not pick this car. I feel like it'd be one of them cars that would almost be better with tyre wear on. A bit of tyre wear would help it. Don't know why, but it'd be a bit better loose. Oh, what number have I got on my bonnet? I can't see. I hope it's not any higher up than 6th. Don't want to be losing that DR. Guy right behind me now as well. Need to make sure he's got nowhere to go into here, even though that's a really bad line. So I've just given him the run on the exit and picked up a penalty. That's how bad that was. Oops. These guys randomly catching me from behind when they've pulled a bit of a gap to him. So he's in the type, what's it called, F-type, Jag. A little lift to make sure I get through because I've taken a bit of a defensive line. Stick to the right hand side so he's got nowhere to go. But then if he runs it side by side with me, he's got the inside for the next one, so I've got to cut across. Oh, it's terrible. I thought I were in first and I wasn't. He's got the run on me. Oh, did I have a penalty? Oh, frigging hell. Oh yeah, I had that penalty, so I've just lost that even though I had the run on into the line, so that were a bad race. Make that 86, what was that now? Oh, 86, nice, thank you. Hey, bloody hell. Get in there. Tocker 2 on the PS2, oh yeah, I know. Bloody hell, oh, Tocker 2. What a game. What a game. I think a lot of us are probably here because of games like that. At the end of the day, those kind of games made you dream that you could have like a wheel and you could do all this at home. And for those that haven't grown up amongst us, and that's probably why we're sat here now doing this. It's games like that. Sleepless. I always forget who's who with all these different names, I'll be honest. Good to see you. Thank you very much as well for the sub. Right. I could do a better car. Not driving that again. That's why these top 10 times are sometimes a bit deceiving. So there's a couple of McLarens up there, you see. And just must be bloody driving gods, those guys. I'm just going to go back to the TT, I think. I just enjoy driving it. It's not the best car in the world, I hope, but you can drive it quite aggressively and really kind of push it without too drastic an effect happening. And for that reason, it's one of my favourite Group 4 cars in a way. Protects the bloody curbs as well. Yeah, back in the TT, which has got the livery on from about 3 seasons ago from the MRC racing. When I was in Team Fanta. Sleepless, nice. And some good races against you, to be honest, Sleepless. Quite a few league races we've been in together. What's good about league racing as well is, I said earlier that I joined about a year ago. Well, there was other people that joined roughly about the same time as me, if not a little before or after, but roughly within like the same month or so. And we all joined like the same league together, and I've got to see those guys come through basically, and actually kept on racing against them in different leagues and keep bumping into them and end up actually becoming really good friends with them and chatting away to them all the time. And so there's that side of it as well, and it can be quite social if you treat it that way. Oh, exactly, there you go. There's someone actually writing the evidence. I know you do get faster from league racing, definitely. Don't know how Jimmy Broadbent manages to do this. If you ever watch him read his messages and race. Please. I ain't got a personal racing group, but I'm talking about the Mature Racing Club on Facebook and SimFX as well, just to be fair to them, because I race in them equally. I race in both groups, but they're both on Facebook. And all the league racing is basically arranged through Facebook, so that's probably not the most obvious thing, and I always forget about that to people that are looking to find all this kind of stuff. They might be looking for websites and that kind of stuff, and there is websites out there. I think if you want to join SimFX you have to actually register on the website, but then pretty much everything else is run through Facebook again. But that's where you get all your little posts for races that are coming up and leagues that you can join and everything else, and all the leaderboards are posted on there, and you can keep track of who's in the lead and what points you've got and all that kind of stuff, what tracks are coming up next. So yeah, it's all to do with Facebook really. Like I say, SimFX is a website as well, but Mature Racing Club I think is just on Facebook. So yeah, Mature Racing Club and SimFX Racing. Right, might actually have to concentrate on a lap in a minute, see if I can improve on my lap time. Sounds crazy, I know. I can never decide whether to come out of that last corner in the bus stop chicane in first or second, and I always choose second, but I always wonder whether first would be any good, but I suppose you've just got to a really short burst of first gear and then a gear change straight away, so it probably won't do you any favours. Running too wide through the exit there, and I've lost time. God damn. Taking a lot better line through a rouge though, so I just pulled, oh excuse me, pulled past my ghost. Oh, I wish it were that easy to get past Hamilton. If anyone's tried those Hamilton things, how have you been doing? I'd be interested to know, because I've bloody struggled my way through them. I've got 5 diamonds now, which I'm quite happy about, to be honest. It's taken me a while to do it, but I've got there in the end on 5 of them. I'm rather proud of myself for doing the Notch Life one as well. It's bloody not easy. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know how everyone else thinks they are, the hard or the easy. I bloody think some of them are almost impossible. That first is a tricky one, if you've tried that. And then annoyingly you go and watch these YouTubers and guys that are really, really, really good at Gran Turismo Sport, some of the best in the world, do these challenges, and they do them first lap. You're like, what? I've tried about 90 times to do that, and you've just done it first time. And he's like, oh yeah, I could have carried a bit more speed through there, yeah, I probably got the gearing wrong through there as well. It's like, what? You taking piss or what? Super GT as well. I think he said, I watched something to do with him today, and he said that someone's done it in 45 minutes. They've got all of them. They've just gone through every challenge from absolutely nothing to getting diamond and beating Hamilton's time on 10 challenges, and they've done it in 45 minutes. Like, fucking hell, what? I'll be lucky if I get it done in 45 days. 45 hours would be good. Oh, there's too much to read down this short straight. I'll have to catch up with you in a second. Could do with a better display. I might ask for that as a Christmas present. Better way to display my phone. Could just do one of those sucky pad things for your sat nav. Somewhere stuck on the wooden rig. Oops, hit the limiter in 5th there. Old Rosie joining us for a second there. Good to see her again. Might see as old Rosie pays more and more visits, the lines might get wilder and wilder. With the 8.4% on some of these old Rosie. Go do it. Hoo-hoo. No, I'm not even going to get the lap in. Oh, I have improved. I did improve. I didn't even notice. Improved by 0.2 of a second by the look of it, or thereabouts. Yeah, there you go. Sent a message in like Facebook. There you go. That's all you need to do. There's a guy on Mature Racing Club in particular. There's a guy called Dennis Schuer that's like the god of it all. That basically can give you most information. But I always hate telling people that, because he probably gets that many messages a day, because everyone basically does the same and says, oh, I speak to Dennis. So I always feel a bit sorry for him. Anyway, starting in 10th this time round. Oop, that's not very positive to say I've improved on my qualifying time as well. But it does give us a bit of a fight. Hopefully we'll go forward and not back. But yeah, I always feel a bit sorry for him. In the nicest possible way, obviously. It's nice to have loads of people wanting to join your group at the end of the day, I suppose. Does a good job there, very organised and professional about it. get to see him soon. He does like a live draw for the GTTCC. If you want to get involved as well, mention it and he'll put your name down for it, and then you'll be involved in the draw, which you get drawn a team and teammates because of it. And you'll be put in a league, and you race against people that are probably starting out at the same time as you, or roughly the same ability. There's always one knob in there that's ridiculously quick. I say knob in the nicest possible way there. They annoy you because they're so quick, but when you get to know them, they're normally quite nice people. Good luck, I need it, bloody 10th. Cheers, oh, 9th, it's just popped up 9th. Cheers, Sleepless. Have you got insomnia? Is that why you've picked that PSN name, or it just seemed like the right name at the time? Just clarify that for me if you don't mind. The long-term insomnia sufferer, or just likes the name? What's the result? I'm guessing he just liked the name. Oh no, he has insomnia. Oh dear me. One of my mates genuinely had insomnia. Well, he never claimed, he always said that he didn't, but I always wondered why he was up till like 4 o'clock in the morning pretty much every night, and this is back in the school days as well. And he claimed that he just didn't need much sleep, but I'm pretty sure he used to have insomnia. Strange fact about the same guy is the person who, like, he wouldn't go for a shit for like a week at a time. I don't know how he used to do it, but he used to like don't know why I just told you that, but he used to fucking be like weeks apart. Not weeks apart, that's an exaggeration. Probably like 5 days apart or something like that. Like fucking hell. And then you spend about an hour in there giving birth, basically. Bit of a good luck swig from old Rosa. Yeah, I know, probably a little bit too much info. Sorry about that. It just reminded me, you know, one story leads to another. I don't like getting too personal either, because I don't know. You have to watch driving at the end of the day. And I'm not particularly that entertaining, so try and keep it about the driving. Otherwise it could end up in all sorts of different weird and wonderful places. I have a bit of a weird mind, if I'm honest. It's annoying starting this far down, getting back to the racing, because you have to go through that frigging last chicane before you get onto the start-finish straight, whereas the guys up front are obviously starting as they go over the line kind of thing. And they're starting on the actual straight, so they get, look, I'm already 9.5 seconds off the leader. I know I'm in 9th and it's not particularly high up, but that's a long way off the leader already if you've got any chance of trying to claw back a victory from behind. Rolling starts aren't you, what am I trying to say? Rolling starts don't do you any favours. Can't speak all of a sudden. These guys battling has done me a favour there though, so just caught right up to the Jag in front of 8th position. Got a decent run, can I dive down here? Depends how good he is on the brakes. He's gone a little bit deep, not deep enough there really. Try and get a good exit out of here instead. Is he going defensive? I couldn't quite tell if he was going defensive or not then. Didn't know whether to stick to the right or not. Oh, I'm not quite getting the entry right. Trying to give him a bit of respect on the outside so I didn't cause any contact, but didn't carry much speed because of that. Into the corner, he's going defensive that time round. Couldn't get back to the outside either really. I like races like this, even though you're not up the front, it's not the best result. I'll probably end up, there's only 3 laps, so if I battle away with this guy for much longer I'm not going to do very well, but I do like races like this because it's basically just a good race. Nice, close, good racing. Well, it was for half a lap. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Especially in daily racing, and you can't take it too seriously. Well, I certainly can't. I can't bloody attempt to win every race at all. Can't qualify high enough in some of the cars. Sometimes I do awesome in qualifying, and others I'm just terrible. The way it revs through second gear, I keep checking that the traction control's not on, but it isn't. It's just really weird way that TT picks up in second. It's almost as though you get like halfway through the revs and it has a little bit of a wheel spin. So, not doing the best to slipstream this guy in front, but not really that important at this point. It is through here though. I don't know whether to go for the guy in front, no. Thought this guy might have started weaving a little bit there. So, not quite got the toe on him though. I've got the run to stick with him, but no overspeed to get any kind of attempt done. I could have dived down his inside, but like I said, I'd rather have a good race than just try and get past for the sake of it. If I can get past, then fair play, but if not, he's had a good race and he's done a good job to defend against me. I think this is where people go wrong. It's racing at the end of the day. You don't have to finish first every time. It's not realistic to bloody racing. If the guy in front is good enough to keep you behind, then you stay in that position. You don't just force it. Whoa, I might force it here though. A little tap on his bumper by accident. Just trying to roll and carry the speed in. Did I actually hit him then? I'm not sure. No SR came up anyway, so it wasn't a heavy hit if I did. He's got the line a bit wrong into there. A little tap again on his bumper. He just keeps bloody stopping it on the apex basically as I get some kind of little run on him as he's making a few mistakes. I'm tempted to have yet another race and jump in that F-type because it does seem like a good car. People seem to be driving it quite easily, so he's gone off. I've made that very same mistake myself. Oh, he nearly took me out coming back on there on the radar. I was very close to wiping me out. We managed to keep it tighter, so I'm up into 8th after a little battle with that guy. See if we can claw 7th off this guy. Now close it up on the brakes. TT's terrible out of that last corner. Just one of the worst corners for getting the understeer. Again, you have to try and straight line the exits a little bit in the TT on the long straights to try and avoid the understeer on the exit. Have to lift to avoid getting too close to his back end then, otherwise I would have hit him mid-air rouge then, but I just kept flat out. Little bits of experience actually paying off for me here. Guy in front's just taking a penalty, so it makes it very awkward for us to all just bunch up all of a sudden into here, side by side. Got the inside for this one, take it nice and steady. Nice and tidy, he's on the outside still, but I've still got the inside for the next one. Just keep it calm on the brakes. Oh, the guy behind's come into me. He's whacked into me, so he's made all the difference. He's actually kind of legitimately made me pass the guy that I was battling against, so he's done me a favour there in a way. But it didn't feel like it when he hit the back of me, mid-corner. Anyway, up into 7th without really expecting it, and have dropped the guys behind as well, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. That guy that's just rammed me from behind, he's too keen to get through. He was never going to get through then, and look where he's gone backwards. Again, not looking at the best result here, but still a good race. see if we can possibly get 6th. Would be nice, but I think we're being a bit hopeful. It's too much of a gap. You'd have to go up wide here if it's going to happen. Nope. Or deep into here, one or the other. I have to get it right as well, look. Oh god, he has gone a little bit deep. Oh, I've got a little bit of a run on him, but it's not too far until the lines. They'll get a chance really to catch him down the straight. So 7th in the end, not too bad. It's a good race there. Like I say, that's what it's all about. Right, I'm going to do one more and jump in the what's it called? F-type jag. The jag. Might have to shut one eye in a minute. I keep looking at that, so I've got a message, I don't know why. Keep forgetting I'm on camera as well. I just grabbed my crotch in a very inappropriate way. It's a good job I can't see. Kind of forget sometimes, even though I do with talking, I kind of forget there's a camera there as well. Because I don't really have it that close, I don't look into it, I don't really see it. It's out of my peripheral vision in a way. Right, so how long have we got? 7 minutes. The Jag it is. Have I got a different paint scheme for that? 'Cause everyone's in the same colour. No, just that. It's the Group 3 one that I've done the livery for. Nice drive, but too much vocal. I know, sorry. I am a bit like that. I can't keep it quiet sometimes. I do find it hard. I find it easier sometimes to actually talk and drive. It helps me sometimes. Don't know if it's any good. Let's find out. I've driven it for testing, but I've never actually picked it for a league, so I've always quite liked the Jag, but I've driven the Group 3 one in the league, and I did really quite well in that league, but it certainly isn't the easiest car to drive. I just kind of gelled with it eventually. Yeah, I am in the RSR as well, yeah. I'll be there tonight. What track are we on, actually? In fact, no, it's Sardegna Road Track B or something. Which I'll have to have a little practice on before we start, because I haven't been on. Yeah, I like that RSR Championship, it's good. So we're in the Jag, I need to turn the TC off as soon as we can. I must have been in this Jag before because I've got a brake balance set up for it. So we'll keep it on what I had it at. Just 2 to the rear. Which I must have thought was appropriate at some point. Terrible through there. Oh, easy flat through a Rouge though, that's why everyone picks it. It's so easy through there. A wheel just going on its own there. Might have to rethink that brake balance though. Didn't seem to want to get stopped into there. Not really doing me any favours, I don't think, jumping from car to car, but hopefully I'll be able to get some kind of time at this Jag is on the top 10 times. And with no setup, you've got to think everyone's driving the same car. Definitely carry a bit more speed than I can in the TT through the mid corners, which I'm not quite doing so far. I'm just working out that I can do. Flat through there if you take that bollard out. Right, have I got time? Just about got time to do a lap, so I better make it a good one. Let's actually try first gear out of here. Picks up quite nicely in first actually, so we're using that again. It's a bit boring as a Rouge in a Group 4 car, there's nothing to it. Just flat and just take the corner. Bit different in project cars last night, I tell you that. Especially when it got dark and track temperature dropped. All of a sudden it's very hairy through there. You can't see anything either. First proper going on Project Cars 2 last night for ages, and it reminded me how complex it is in comparison to GT Sport. This is just a good game for being able to pick up and play, and it works and it's easy and you can get online really easily and everything, and that's where Project Cars 2 fails massively. But it does work if you put a bit of effort into it, which a guy called Phoenix from SimFX does for us and sorts out a league, or he's trying to do at the moment, and we were testing last night for it. It's good though. I'm getting used to after driving on this game for so long. Not really jump into Project Cars 2 very often. Play quite a bit of rallying and a bit of a Assetto Corsa every now and again, but not much Project Cars. I should do as well. Every time I go back to it I really enjoy it, even though it takes some getting used to. Missed the apex again. It's my little habit through there. Oh, I've picked up a penalty. The brakes certainly aren't as good in this Jag as they are in other cars that I've been in. So I've completely wasted that last lap by messing it up on the last chicane. Oops. GT Sport is the only. STI, yeah, that's a good shout. Road Track A, I think. Oh, is it Road Track A? Oh, I like that one. STI weapon. Is that meant to say weapon? Weapon. Weapon. GT Sport is the only what? Is the only game that's easy to play but feels terrible. Ooh, I said it. Looks amazing, I'll give it that. I absolutely love it, don't get me wrong, I'm on it every single day, but there is something about GT Sport that's lacking in the force feedback anyway. Jingle bells, eat my food and back on it. What are you having? I think I'm going to have Kiev, chicken Kiev tonight. What time is it as well? I need to be. Alright, it's not anywhere near as late as I thought. It gets dark and I've no idea what time it is. Right, I'm pretty much going to make this my last race, I think. And hopefully it's a good one. Starting in 8th, so we've had a bit of a random grid start with the same qualifying time, more or less. So we've had, what we're at, 5th, 7th, a 9th and 8th is it this time. So it's been a bit mixed. You've got to love that from GC Sport. I keep forgetting I'm in a better lobby potentially now because I'm a DR rating, finally. DR rating A, that is. Took me frigging forever to get there. Not lost it yet as far as I know, which is good. I hate these warm-ups, you can get really into them and then it just finishes like, oh, I was just about to have him. So yeah, again, let's see where we can come. Guy in first, qualifying time, is fast, but it's only 0.6 quicker, so it's not a ridiculous amount of time. Certainly time I can possibly make up in this Jag, depending on my driving. Got to remember the braking though. I've got to brake a bit earlier than I have been. Otherwise, I'm going to mess up. I'm going to put it to the front slightly as well, just because generally that is my preference for every car if I can get away with it. Just try it one, just in case it's some massive effect to it, just to start off with. So. 8th to, let's have a look. Hey, the fact that it starts around the bloody last chicane. Not the easiest of chicanes to get through either. And especially as the very first corner that you're taking. Again, I feel like I'm a bit late on the brakes on the Jag into there. Panicked me slightly, but I don't think I was actually. I think I went a bit too slowly because I thought I was going too fast into that. No, oh no, straightened it up too early. Got a penalty there, definitely. I'd be very surprised if I don't. Yeah, there we go. Ah, God's sake. Not taking it this lap, so we'll try and make the most of this lap still. Terrible into there. It's another car at the moment. I'm thinking, how the hell does anyone get a top 10 time out of this? But just me struggling to get used to jumping between the cars, I think. It takes a bit of doing. It's nice and stable through there though. Right, come on, let's actually have a decent race here. I'm dropping back. I need to catch the guys in front, not drop back. He's gone wide. It's a little opportunity to catch him up. Christian Wolf. Oh, that's Christian as in the religion rather than his name. Just a better name if it is. Right, sat in the distance, slipstream. Got this penalty to worry about. Guy behind, what, over a second behind, but he's sat in my slipstream, so might not get rid of him that well. Guy in the Beamer in front's had a big moment coming out of there. Let's see if we can capitalise on that on the brakes. Oh, it's a bit deep. Oh, I've hit him. Taking him off actually. That's bad driving from me. Hands up to that one, pal. Sorry about that. Oh, he's coming across to kill me now. Sorry about that, pal. That was bad driving. Can I say, the Jaguar has terrible brakes. Nothing I can say about that one other than that was me. I just rammed into the side of him, went too deep on the brakes and couldn't have really avoided him. I probably could have done, but I didn't. Over and done with now though, carry on with the race. Surprised I haven't picked up a bigger penalty for that. Don't want to ram him again through here, that will piss him off. Got this penalty to worry about though, so I need to keep the speed up. Seems like he might have forgiven me. Oh, has he? No. Oh, am I going to get caught? Should be alright, I think. Oh, the brakes again. Oof. God, you got to get hard on them. That sounds rude, but hard on the brakes. So battling away for 9th position here. I'm not giving myself the best reputation in the world. Little mistake from the guy in front, so he's dropped a place down into 9th and the Beamer's up into 8th. This is another religious based name in front of us. Is there an angel in there? Oh, wrong gear. Concentrating on their names too much. TT's definitely my car, I can just drive it. Everything else seems a bit of a struggle to catch anyone in. Oh god, especially with that kind of line. My driving is pretty bad at the moment as well, which doesn't help, but those kind of lines do not do you any favours. Oh, the jag's terrible through there. Oh my god, why can't I get it stopped into there? Out of all the corners I seem to manage okay, still not brilliantly into all of them, but that one, I'm obviously braking too late, but it don't feel like I am. I really shouldn't be compared to what I've been able to do in other cars. Got a guy down me inside now potentially. Didn't really want to defend it then because I'm just losing the line all the way out and down here. Although he's taken the inside line and still got a good run, so maybe I should have defended it. He's going to have to drop out down here though. I've got the inside line for this first bit. Give him some space. Oh, I've gone toe wide. Oh, I'll give him more space. I tapped him then I think. Guy coming through. Oh, it's all going wrong. Oh. Well, at least it's a bit of fun, but it's again not brilliant result here. I shouldn't have picked this Jag. Been looking at other people enviously driving it. Looks like it's nice and stable and everything. Oh, I got past that guy, tiny bit of rubbing I think, but I didn't punt him off, so up into 11th. Woo. Now we're talking, I'm on the last lap. I'm glad this is the last one, because I don't know if I can bear another one after a race like this. Progressively got worse from my first race to the last one, I think, if that's right. Yeah, I think it pretty much is. Moral of the story, for me anyway, pick the TT. Technically shouldn't be a good car, it's front wheel drive and it's got so much understeer, but just drive it like you mean it. Why the hell am I in fourth? Not only am I in 11th place, I'm battling for 11th place. The guy behind me is quite close. Oh. I love every race really, but it's particular hard to take when you're just dropping back. Oh, I cannot take that corner. Keep going wide. That's SR down again. It's a good job I'm not worried about my SR. I don't think this will. Yes, I've got it broke. I actually got it broke. And then I've been hit. Oh, I'll lose 2 positions on the last corner as well. Well, that just sums up the race really. Down into 13th in the end. Oh, well. That's the way it goes sometimes, I guess. Right, won't be picking that Jag again. Like I say, lesson learned sometimes from looking at the top 10 times and thinking, oh yeah, I'll pick that car. Sometimes just doesn't suit you in the way you drive. Well, for me personally anyway, some people might be able to jump in any car and get a fast time, but certain cars definitely suit me and others don't. So yeah, what else could I possibly do just for 2 minutes or 5 minutes? Do I just leave it? I think just leave it there pretty much. See what daily car I get. Oh, there's possible beauty in there, but I doubt I'll get it. Whatever it is, I don't know what it is. It's a Mazda of some sort. Is that an old Ferrari? F50. I've already got one, but bloody good fun to drive actually. It's a good car. Right. Yeah, I think I'm going to pretty much call it a do at that. I'm racing tonight, so I don't want to overdo it, which I probably already have done, but there you go. Anyway, take care. Thank you very much for joining me, and really appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you all again soon. And hopefully you've enjoyed that at some point anyway. Bad driving towards the end there. Can only apologise for that, but yeah, there you go. Can't have it perfect every time. Anyway, take care. See you again soon. Adios.